What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports NBA preseason show. I'm your host, Mangone. I'm here with AP. I'm here with JSU. We'll kick it off with you first, AP. How's it going over there, man?
It's going good, man. I love what we're doing with this content. Last night was good. The night before was good. As we were talking about the right before the show, you were like a play away from shipping the 222. So that's we absolutely love to see it. I needed more Dame last night. Dame let me down the stretch, but it was another cash, so I can't complain. And tonight's slate looks good. A lot of games to get through.
Yeah, got a lot of games to get through. We had I think one sub. I think he played like $193 and won like 16K yesterday. So that was a nice little ship. I know a couple other ones have been doing pretty well. So overall, it's been going really well. And JSU has definitely been behind that. JSU, how's it going over there, man? How has the NBA preseason been?
Yeah, it's been good. We've given out a few winners, I feel like, on these shows. And in the Discord, there's been a lot of good, chatter, not just from us, but members talking it up and good info in there. If you're not in the Discord, really good information in there. Like I said, not just us, a lot of the members, they're dropping good information. They're talking plays. It's just good back and forth. It's good to be involved with. I love, talking plays with everyone and all the involvement that not just us, going back and forth with subs, but all the subs like talking plays too. It's great. So I love it.
Yep, they've been dropping their information that they see, talking through 2v2s, talking through everything. So it's been great over there. If you guys could please hit that like, hit that subscribe on the video. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. We would appreciate it a ton. Helps us out a lot. Also wanted to mention, we got going on over here. We have a little bit of a promo. We got Draft Cheat. He joined the team. If you use the code DC30, that'll get you 30% off, for your first payment, and then get you 15% off for life. We also have another code, Buckets15. That's a 15% off for life. And you can also add that on with the bet subscription for only $20 extra. So check all that out. You get to see AP's content, JSU's, mine, BigT, everyone. It's a great time. JSU, I'm going to kick it over to you. Give us a little bit of a slate overview before we kind of dive into everything.
Yeah. So let's start up. I mean, first of all, these early games are going to be interesting because we've already got word about kind of Charlotte's plan, Borrego's plan for how he wants to, who he wants to see get some minutes and who he wants to see play together a little bit. You know what I mean? So it looks like the starters are going to get some decent run. He said he was going to try and play like somewhat of his main rotation, and everyone was going to see around like 25 minutes. So, I mean, that's got to bode well for like safety playing some of these Charlotte guys. I'm sure people will. I think from the Orlando side, guys like Vooch will be owned. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of security in these first two games, some cheap plays in these first two games as well. So it'll be interesting how people load up their lineups. If it's a bunch of like kind of studs and duds where you get like the cheap guys from these early games that we know are going to play, and then we load them up with some of these studs later, like Harden and Doncic and Cat and all these guys. So it'll just be interesting from a slate overview how people handle all the value that's in the first two games, because if you're playing value that's not in those two games, I think that'll be somewhat different.
Yeah, AP, how are you handling the value in the first two games? I'm in the camp of I don't love the first two games, but I want to get your take and see how you're handling it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a slate where a lot of value. I mean, there's going to be value everywhere. There's value in the first few games. There's going to be value in the later games if you're able to track this news. It's just how it's been going with preseason. So I don't feel like you need to force anything in these first few games. There's a few GPP plays I definitely like, value plays. Otherwise, I do think it's going to be a slate where we want exposure to some of these later games.
Yeah, I am with you on that. I think we just got some news. I'm pulling it up now just to see, because I think some of the Rockets news has come through. Yeah, so Christian Wood is going to make his debut, and he's going to start with Harden, Eric Gordon, Daniel House, and PJ Tucker. So we got some of the news trickling in now for that game, and then there'll be news coming throughout all the night, which you can get in on the Discord chat and kind of get all that. It's great information that's helpful for you. Let's dive in. Let's talk about this first game. Let's talk about, let's go to the Wizards game. We'll talk about the Wizards. They're going against the Detroit Pistons. I'm going to go to you first, AP, because I saw you talking up Hayes in the Discord chat. You were even talking before the show. You thought Jerome Robinson was an interesting play. How are you handling this entire game here? AP, you're on mute.
Yeah, what a donkey. God, man, my streak's been so good, too. Oh, man, happens to all of us. Do we have a starting lineup yet posted by Washington? Mango, have you guys seen anything?
They did post one earlier. I'd have to dig it up.
Oh, okay.
I know Wagner. I know Rui's out. Wagner is starting at the
Neto's starting.
That's right.
Bonga is starting, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
The thing I like about the Wizards tonight, Beal's going to only play in the first half. They're very light in the backcourt. And yeah, I think Jerome Robinson is a really interesting value play coming off the bench. The dude is a straight up shooter. He's not going to be owned. At least I don't think so, unless people start plugging him in, but he's min price. And this dude was the king of the bubble on this Wizards team. So absolutely love him. Mo Wagner getting the start. He takes up, for me, it's opportunity cost. Like, he takes up that center position, and I want to spend up to Cat today. So, and then I want to prioritize my point guards today, because I think there's truly a ton of really elite point guards. So I don't see myself getting to Mo Wagner, but I think he's interesting. And then, if you want to play a value guard who isn't Ricky Rubio, you could go Killian Hayes. I mean, he's there, he was their first round pick, a guy that you obviously want to think that they want to develop. Again, do we think Dwayne Casey is going to give these guys a bunch of minutes? I think he's rolled out these really 20, everyone gets 22 minutes. Second group gets like 16 minutes, rotations that are really limiting as far as upside goes. So for me, I'm not going to force any of these guys in. If you're multi-entering, yeah, sure, take a shot on some of them. If I had to play one of them in a tournament, it would be my boy, Jerome Robinson.
All right, yeah, that would make some sense. I do think Wagner is an interesting play there. I think he's someone you can go to. I don't mind Killian Hayes. I know he's been in like game shape. He basically talked about how he wasn't ready. I just don't think this is the greatest game. JSU, how about you? How would you handle this one?
Yeah, it definitely isn't, right? I mean, these first two games in general aren't games that I really don't love. The problem is from the Wizards side, we do have some guys with value. I know Danny Avila, their first round pick that people have been talking up. I know people in our Discord have been talking him up. Talented, 4,300. So he's cheap. He's probably going to get a lot of opportunity, I would say, in this game. So I guess you can make a case for him. But outside of that, I don't love Mo Wagner starting next to Thomas Bryant. I don't love that. I'd rather him I'd rather him be the second unit guy. I think Wagner's kind of talented as well, but if they're going to have other guys, rotating in at center, and he's going to be with the first unit with Bradley Beal, and Beal's taking all these shots, I don't know how much I love the first unit in general, especially for that first half with Beal. And then I can agree with AP on Jerome Robinson. I mean, he's mid price, 4K. So taking a shot on him isn't that crazy. He was one of their best players in the bubble, the whole team. So I could see that play there. But outside of that, I really don't have anything from the Wizards that I love. Detroit, it's what AP said in a nutshell, pretty much. They're not running their guys out huge minutes. I think Blake Griffin at 5,300 is still underpriced. And if he got 22 minutes, I think in 22 minutes, he could easily outdo that $5,300 price tag. Killian Hayes, same thing with him, 4,700. I'm pretty sure for him, 48, somewhere in that range. So he could outdo that in 22 minutes. But outside of those two guys, really not much interest overall in this game.
Yeah, I'm currently looking for some more news. I think some stuff is coming out about Harden. and his minutes, trying to find that. But I did want to mention we had news on the Grizzlies. Grayson Allen back in the starting lineup with Ja, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas Valanciunas. So that is some news we got. And also Brandon Clark is cleared to play a preseason debut tonight. So yeah, trying to look for some more news while this is all going on.
The Harden news is Silas said that he's going to play a little more than last time. He played 21 minutes last game. So you got to figure maybe 20, 24, 25.
Yeah, and he says no one is over 30. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I liked Harden a lot. I gotta think through that whole scenario. We'll get to that when we'll talk about it when we get there. Let's talk about the Hornets, because I know they mentioned how a lot of their guys, they're going to basically play like a core of 10 to 12 guys, and they basically talk about how Hayward's going to be out. I think Caleb Martin is going to end up starting. I believe that's the guy who I heard is going to be in there. And then they talked about basically playing Devontae Graham and Lonzo Ball, not Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball together. And they mentioned all those guys that they have, like they're going to try and play mainly like 25 minutes. So JSU, on the surface, it sounds like that the Hornets are good plays, but I don't see them popping in people's lives. I don't see a lot of people talking about how they want to play them. What's your take on the Hornets? Because I think they're good plays, but I do worry, like I'm someone who likes to backload my lineups and wait to see what's going to happen. Should I want to get in a Hornet or should I want to backload my teams? What are you thinking there?
So I think out of the 4 teams we're going to discuss in these early games, I think if you were going to stack a team, it would be Charlotte. And it's not even close, because Borrego said he's going to not play as many guys. He's going to play around 10 guys. He's going to pretty much play his starters about 25 minutes. He wants to see them with different guys, and which bodes well for them, right? If I can lock a starter, and for Charlotte, we got to remember too, these starters, there's no one over 6K, 6,100. I think Devontae Graham is the highest priced starter they have on Charlotte now with no Gordon Hayward. So you're getting a lot of these guys in that mid-tier in value to stack. So if you wanted 2 studs in your lineup with a Charlotte stack, you could easily make that happen. I think if I'm going to stack a team in this first game, it'll be Charlotte. I like a little bit of LaMelo Ball. They talked about how they want to play him more with Devontae Graham. I would assume that would mean LaMelo would have the ball in his hands. Devontae Graham would play a little more off ball in that situation. But I'm really intrigued about those 2 guys playing more together. I thought it was interesting. He specifically said that. He also talked about Jalen McDaniels, specifically how he wants to get, I think the quote was he wants to get him and Cody Martin more time, just in general. I don't know. I don't know if you can double check on that, but I'm pretty sure that was a quote.
I may have mentioned, it may have been Cody and I mentioned Caleb. So yeah, I know it was one of the Martins was the guy.
It was Cody. I'm pretty sure it was Cody. He said Cody and Jalen he wanted to see a little more of. I think Jalen McDaniels is actually pretty good. Whenever I watch him play, whether it's for 10 minutes, 12, 15, I feel like he always does something that kind of pops off the screen to me that I'm like, oh, well, he's got some talent. He's a little skinnier frame, taller guy, plays that 3-4 position where he's not really a 4 because he's kind of too skinny, but if they had to play him there, he could, but he's more of a 3, and he's got some skills. I think at 4,200, I think he's someone that I'll have interest in as a cheap guy. I talked about LaMelo, and then the one other Charlotte guy. Well, there's 2 because I'm probably not going to play PJ because I'm probably going to end up playing McDaniels over him if I play one of these guys. But Devontae Graham would be the other guy that I throw in there. If I'm going to stack 3, it would be between those 4 Charlotte guys. I think for me right now, the stack would be LaMelo, McDaniels, and Graham if I was going to stack Charlotte. But that's just me personally.
All right, AP, how about you? I do think that the Charlotte team is one you can get some exposure to. I think LaMelo Ball can end up being a guy that gets a good amount of run. How about you, though? How are you handling this Charlotte situation?
Yeah, I think it's one that's not as predictable. We could go with the coach. LaMelo Ball's fine. If he hits his shots, he's going to hit value at 4,800. Again, I'm really valuing the point guard position very highly tonight. I think we have some really just elite spots. So for me, the question is, do I want to give up one of those spots for LaMelo Ball? And, I think you can do it in tournaments for sure. And then the other thing about this game is that really worries me is pace. And I don't see it being like a fast paced game. Whereas like this Timberwolves game will definitely be a faster paced game. Like the Hawks and Grizzlies game will be a faster paced game. So for me, I'm most likely off it. I do think what JSU said is interesting about a stack. I don't think a lot of people will go that way. So like if you do go a full stack, you're gonna be able to pay for whatever stud that you want on this slate.
Yeah, no, that is for sure. Any interest in the opposite side? I'm even blanking who's playing on the opposite side of the Charlotte game. Who is it?
Vooch.
Oh yeah, Vooch. Sorry, that's the one. That's a great point. Yeah, Vooch is one that we need to talk about. Vucevic is one of the better spend up options today at the center position. How are you handling him, JSU? Because I think he's a really interesting play. And then I think Fournier is someone that could be intriguing as well. I know Aaron Gordon might get his minutes bumped up a little bit. Now Terrence Ross is available, but I think he's going to play a max of 20 minutes. But there's still opportunity here for guys in the backcourt like Fournier and Fultz to have really solid minutes as well.
For sure. Forward position in general, when we're talking about Aaron Gordon, isn't very strong. So that's another thing to think about too. I think a lot of people are going to spend down at the forward spots on DraftKings, but Vooch to me is a really strong, safe play. Like I think Vooch seeing 20 to 25 minutes, it to me is very safe in this situation. I think when you're looking at that spot, he's 8K. Karl Anthony Towns is 8,200. I think Vooch is more of the safer play. Karl Anthony Towns is more of the tournament pivot with upside, who hasn't really he's kind of underwhelmed this preseason to start, where I think Vooch is a little more safer to me. So if I'm going to run a Charlotte stack and I wanted to bring it back with an Orlando guy, I think it would be Vooch. I'm not huge into Fultz, but I do agree with you. He has looked a little better this preseason, and Evan Fournier as well. I have no problems with them, but I think I'd just rather take Vooch if I'm going to run it back.
Yeah, how about you, AP? I guess if you play Charlotte guys, you maybe want to run it back with Vooch, but is Vooch going to be a core priority guy for you on this slate?
No, it's not. I like to play. Nothing against him at all. There's another center I like on this slate. I do think one guy that's interesting is Michael Carter-Williams on the Orlando side. You can plug him into the shooting guard position on DraftKings. He's played 25 and 29 minutes, and we know that he's always capable of filling out the stat sheet. I'm not super high on this game, so I'll leave it at that.
All right, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'd appreciate it a ton. We'd love to get to 100 likes here today. So yeah, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Also want to mention we had a Showdown show that's free and available after this. You can go and check it out. Breaks down the Vegas Raiders and the Chargers slate. So that's for Showdown. We did just get news that Keenan Allen and Mike Williams will more than likely play, things we didn't expect to hear tonight. So yeah, that's some news that, hey, that'll shake up the Showdown slate. So obviously adjust that after the NBA one. Figured I would break that news for you guys while we were doing this, but you never know. It could change. 15 minutes till actives and inactives. So stay tuned for that. Let's head on over to the next game. Let's talk San Antonio Spurs. Let's talk Houston. I know San Antonio said that this might be more of a dress rehearsal game, so you might see more minutes for guys like Aldridge, Murray, DeRozan, Rudy Gay. So I think you're going to see more minutes for those guys rather than some of the younger guys. And then Houston, we got the James Harden news that we just talked about. Let me go to you over there, JSU. Christian Wood looks like he's only going to play 20 minutes. Is he too pricey then at 7,300?
I mean, yeah, the answer is yes. The problem is forward stinks. And if you're spending up, to me, there's really only two spend ups at forward. There's John Collins, there's Christian Wood. I think John Collins just provides you a little more safety because I do think he sees a few more minutes than 20. So I do think he's in that like 25 to 27 minute range, whereas Christian Wood's going to see 20. So I would take the extra 100 and try and get up to Collins for a little more of a minute security than Christian Wood. But hey, for tournaments, if you want to play Christian Wood, be a little different. Like I said, most people are just going to spend down at forward. So I think you're going to be a little contrarian either way. So yeah, I mean, I like that. And then I think Harden is just like, yeah, I think he's just a very easy play if he's seeing 25 24 to 25 minutes, which they said they're giving him more, right? So if he got 21 last time, like he's going to probably see 24 or 25. Who knows? With Harden, he might just, keep himself out there for 27 or 28 minutes. That dude loves to play. He does not like to sit on the bench. Like I know that for a fact. Like he hates that. He wants to be out there when he plays. Like when he's out for the whole game, he's out. Like that's fine. But when he's playing, he wants to play. So sign me up for Harden at 24 to 25 minutes. I'll take that.
All right, AP, how about you? Are you playing James Harden? Is he a priority spend with so many different options that you can go to at the top? How are you handling Mr. James Harden here?
I definitely think he's in the consideration. I mean, no Wall, no Boogie Cousins. It could be the James Harden show. One thing I watched closely in his last game is that they said 20 minutes and they pulled him right at 21 minutes. When they're talking about kind of, extending him a little bit, I do think that like he's probably going to be under 25 minutes. But again, none of these other studs, we could just see him do whatever he wants. And if he hits those first few shots, he could definitely get there in 25 minutes. So I think he's in play. I think he's more of a tournament play because of the uncertainty around the situation there. What I'm interested is I want to see the San Antonio side. I want to see if we get a better idea of what these minutes are going to be, and I want to see if they have they announced the starting lineup yet. Do you guys know?
No, I haven't seen that.
I would assume it's the small ball lineup though against Houston.
Yeah, so the guy I like is the guy we were on last time, Vassell. Like, I don't know. I mean, 4,400, and look, he's gotten a ton of minutes, and you got to think that they continue to run him out. I don't know why they wouldn't. The other guy, Trey Lyles, they've been giving him a lot of minutes, but he can't hit a shot right now. But when his shot does go down, he's going to put up a big number. So I'm not stacking this game. We'll get to the game I really like, but there are some really interesting plays. If you think Aldridge is going to get a bunch of minutes, he could definitely get there. I just don't like the fact that he's old. Vassell, I think, is going to be the guy I like.
All right. Not much more to say with that game. Let's go to the next one. I want to
hold on a second. Time out. Not much more to say. I have something to say about the San Antonio game here because the San Antonio side to me is a little more interesting than AP. I love DeJounte Murray again. I don't know why people don't play this kid. He's young. Good. They want to see him play. They said they're going to probably run these starters out a little bit more, and he's really good. Like, really good. And for fantasy, he does what you want. He gets rebounds. He gets steals. He gets blocks. He gets assists. He can score. Like, the only thing you can say about this kid is he lacks really good ability to, like, hit the outside jumper. But I will say his jumper has massively improved in the last few years. So I think he's getting better. And the one thing I realized, too, is he's taking jump shots where he's not hesitating. He's catching the ball and he's shooting with confidence, which wasn't the case. A lot of times in the last year and the year before, he used to catch the ball at the top of the key and he used to pump fake every single time. It was like he just didn't have confidence in that three-point shot. This year, I just noticed it in the preseason, last game I watched, he was taking three-pointers very confidently. No hesitation. I'm sure that's something that Pop was drilling him about. I love that. I think he's going to have massive fantasy upside this season, especially when Derek White isn't in. So
that's big. By the way, that's a great recommendation because no Derek White's huge, actually. I mean, if you saw it in the bubble, like that mattered a ton. So I like that call. I think Murray makes
I think that's a great call, JSU. One that's easily overlooked. I mean, I definitely overlooked it. But look, like you're right. I'm looking at these minutes right now from last game, and yeah, I mean, if they truly want to do a dress rehearsal, what do you think? 28 to 32, possibly.
And AP, I'm pretty sure in the fourth quarter, they ran the starters. The only starter that ran back out there for a few minutes in the fourth quarter was DeJounte Murray.
Yes, it was Murray. It was the only.
It was the only one. He was the only one that ran. So Vassell was on the floor and Lyles, and he was the only starter that was on the floor with them for a little bit in the fourth quarter. That's just telling that Pop wants this kid to play. He wants to see him play more. Yeah, I think the San Antonio game from a stacking standpoint is perfect. You play Murray, you got Murray, Gay, Aldridge, and Vassell, who I like, and you take three of them and you stack them up with bringing them back with Harden. That's how I like building some of my teams.
Yeah, no, I mean, and if you play him, you're going to box yourself out of a lot of like good point guards, right? So naturally, it's going to make you different when you do that. So it's definitely a great call by you there, JSU. Reason why I kind of wanted to jump over is I wanted to talk about this news that we got here, and I think it segues into kind of some of the stuff that you said, JSU. Like, I would think I would maybe change my Trae Young shares to a DeJounte Murray if I had Trae Young shares. Not saying I don't like Trae Young now, but one of my fears is they have a lot of bodies back. I'm trying to find the news again because they came out with the line. So Rondo is expected to play tonight, which I don't think anyone thought was coming. Kevin Herter is the only Hawk on a minutes restriction. Cam Reddish will play. Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Hunter, John Collins, and Capella are going to start. JSU, does that hurt Trae Young a little bit for you with Rondo being in there? I mean, listen, Rondo can carry a high enough usage where I think that could cut into him compared to some of these other high-priced guards. So break down this Hawk situation for me. How do you handle all this new news?
Yeah, I mean, Rondo could affect Trae a little bit. I could easily see that. Now, the other question is, they had a bunch of guys questionable. Reddish is going to play. Herter went from questionable to probable, so he's going to play. But they have Bogdanovich. They have a bunch of guys there, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about using them. Like, what happens with Goodwin? Does Rondo just take Goodwin out of the rotation where Goodwin was playing a few backup point guard minutes? Well, does Rondo just take those 9 to 15 minutes that he's been getting this preseason, and Trae still keeps his 30 minutes or 28 or whatever, that 32 he got last time, like whatever they're running him out there. So does it affect him? Maybe, but it would also affect the backup.
Yeah, no, I think that makes some sense. How about you, AP? How does that affect the Hawks there for you? I mean, Trae Young's a great play. Capella's got a nice price. Bogdanovich obviously has a good price tag too. How are you handling these guys here against the Grizzlies?
Yeah, I mean, I think JSU said it perfectly. The one thing I've liked about the Hawks the last few games, they're giving them good minutes. Now we have more bodies in there. We definitely, I think they have 2 more games left, so we definitely could see kind of a rotation that is much wider. Like, we can see more guys play. The starters maybe play less minutes. I don't think it's as predictable as some of these other situations. So I get it. The pace should be really good. It's going to be a fun team to watch this season. I don't think I'm on them today.
Are you on the Grizzlies then? I don't think I'd be on the Grizzlies too much either, AP. I just think there's too much uncertainty. How are you handling the Grizzlies here?
Yeah, no, I'm not on the Grizzlies as well. I think there are some fine plays there. I'm just, what I've been doing with preseason, like I love this Timberwolves game and Mavs game that we're going to get to. And and then the late game, I think it's going to be another late game hammer. And so I'm prioritizing those spots over this spot, even though this definitely could be a spot that kills me, and it could be one that goes overlooked, that and the Spurs spot. But that's just where I'm at tonight.
How you handling Memphis, JSU? Not a team I'm too interested in, but man, if Ja Morant, like, I know the price has gone up a bit, but if he gets the minutes he's seen, like, Ja can have a massive game. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I mean, he's a guy that you definitely have to consider as a guard. Do you want to play him though? I mean, Brandon Clark is back. Jonas Valanciunas, we know he can steal a lot of usage. What do you think of this matchup here against Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not like he's playing 30, 35. I mean, he's getting 25, 26 minutes this preseason. But I have to be honest, out of all I've pretty much watched every preseason game that's run for the NBA. Ja Morant has looked as good as just about anyone I've seen this preseason. Dude is super, super talented. The price is a lot, though. It's really tough if I'm getting definite Harden 24 to 25 minutes. Luka, I assume, is going to play decent minutes. So it's definitely hard clicking that name. Now, from an ownership standpoint, though, if you were to play Ja over Luka or Harden, like you're going to be, that's going to be very low owned pivot that you're going to make. So I think you have to look at it from that standpoint too. Is he is he the best play on the board for just overall? Probably not. And he's up there in that like pricing tier, but from a GPP standpoint, he makes sense as a pivot to me.
All right. Yeah, no, worth talking about. Obviously, there's a lot of good guards to play. So Ja's just going to be under owned. So wanted to mention that and get your take on that. If you guys could please hit that like, hit that subscribe for us. We'd appreciate it a ton. Also wanted to mention we have a promo going on with Monkey Knife Fight. Use the code RUNPURE for a match bonus up to $50. Hoop's been absolutely crushing it. I've seen people hopping in, giving soccer plays. I know AP will be in there giving all the NBA takes once we kind of get moving with the NBA regular season. So head on over to Monkey Knife Fight. Use the code RUNPURE, get a $50 match deposit bonus, and then get in the Discord chat so you can get in on the Monkey Knife Fight plays with us. AP, I'm going to go to you now. Let's talk about this Timberwolves game. This is one it sounds like you are eyeing. Break it down for me.
I just think this is their final game. You got to figure that they're going to run their guys out there, give them good minutes. I think we're going to see good minutes from Karl Anthony Towns. And look, he struggled with his shot. Otherwise, like he's a guy that can absolutely break this slate, especially this matchup. I think it's going to be a really good matchup here against the Mavericks. Just if you look at who they have out there, I think it's going to be really difficult to guard Towns on the perimeter. And he's going to take a bunch of threes. But the problem is, and question is can he hit his threes? And so I'm going to bank on him seeing the shot go down early, and I think he's going to have a big night. He's one of my favorite plays. We also get D'Angelo Russell out. That's going to really help his overall usage rate. I think that's going to make Ricky Rubio popular. Obviously, Mangone, I'll be curious to see if you're locking him in for a cash play because I think that would make sense. I do think there's some potential risk there. I think you have Malik Beasley there in the backcourt. You have Culver, who could also take minutes. I think in tournaments, those are the interesting pivot points if you want to get a little bit different in stacking up that game. And then, honestly, Luka, final game, they've mentioned that they want to keep increasing his minutes. He got good minutes last game. Man, if we get 28 minutes from Luka tonight, I think he's going to absolutely smash. So I want to hear where you guys are at with Luka and the other side.
Yeah, Luka, I definitely think is a great spend-up option. I think Rubio makes sense as a value. I like him a ton. I guess the thing you have to evaluate is how many spend-up guards do you want, right? Because that's going to obviously determine where you kind of go with some of your plays. So, I think Rubio is definitely one of the better values on the slate. You just have to decide if you want to take up a guard spot with Ricky Rubio. That's really the decision you just have to decide. I'll go over to you, JSU. How do you handle Timberwolves? How do you handle blanking on the other team that we have going on right now, Timberwolves and Mavericks? How do you handle that one, JC?
Geez, you're blanking on a lot of teams, man. Going right.
I know. Well, I'm looking at all this different news coming in. I'm trying to adjust my lineup. So I look at. It's all right.
We'll give you a pass. It's your first NBA show. We'll give you a pass. But hold on, 57 likes. That's not going to fly here. I'm not giving a take until that like ticker goes up. Let's go. I want to see that. Give us 70 right now. Let's go. I want to see the like button ticker up. I'm going to talk to Mangone and AP back and forth until we get that like button up because that's just hurtful. Again, AP, what is it? You come on the show for people to just make it better, and this is what they do to us. Look at it. That's terrible.
Yeah, we're trying. We had good winners last night. I think we got them again tonight. We got 2 juicy games to get to, guys. We got, I guess, one juicy game after this one.
I guess. Well, here's the one thing I'll say. So we did get to 70, but that late game could be really juicy if you really want to backload.
No, we got to 70. It got over 70. We're over 70.
Right. So JSU gets what he wants. Now JSU can talk about this next game.
Damn right. That now we talk. So winners here. Minnesota, Dallas. I will say I think Luka is a great spend up. Him and Harden are 1-2, very close, but a great option. I will say Dallas has looked pretty solid to me. They looked really good last time out. I'm really liking the J Rich move. I think he's going to be good for that team just overall. From a fantasy side, J Rich, I don't know if I can pay where he's at, 5,700. I mean, he's an okay option, but I don't know if I'm going to do it on the slate. But I will say the Timberwolves side, Cat to me has not looked good. I really want to play him though, because he's going to shoot a ton of shots. He's been off, right? Look, 3 of 12. I think it was 4 of 13 his last 2 games. I mean, that's rough. Like, he just hasn't had it going from the field. I think it's going to turn around. This could be the spot here where it turns around. I get why AP likes him a lot tonight. You know, he's due for a bounce back spot. He's due for it. He struggled from the field. He's going to get one, AP. I hope it's tonight. I think I'm with you.
I mean, you got Dwight Powell that might be able to extend out to the perimeter. Otherwise, who's going to get a hand in his face?
Problem is he's got to hit the shot, though.
I know. That is the problem for sure.
But again, I'm with you though. If he makes the shots, he's going to crush. Like he's going to get all the shots, right? D'Angelo Russell's out. I mean, Malik Beasley will shoot, but Ricky Rubio wants to play make. He wants to get him the ball when he's out there. Interesting with Edwards. No one's talking about Edwards. He's 4,600. I think he's a pivot off Rubio in tournaments. Hasn't looked great from a fantasy side, but no D Russ. Maybe he starts. Maybe they want him to start getting involved a little more offensively. So I think he's interesting there as well. But I do like this game. The AP's probably a little more higher on it. I'm a little higher on the San Antonio-Houston game, I will say, from a stacking side. But I do agree this would be the next game.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good one to target. Malik Beasley's there. I mean, there's a lot of guys that can gain some usage, and Towns can really have a monster game. Let's say he gets 32 minutes, right? This is their last game for the Timberwolves. So they could really run it like a dress rehearsal, and it could be really interesting. That'll really wrap it up for that game. Let's go to Golden State. Let's go to Sacramento. JSU, we'll go to you on this one. Sacramento has been a team that's been fun for the preseason, at least. Are they going to be fun in this game? And how are you handling the Golden State side of the ball?
So the Golden State side, I think it's very simple. Steph Curry. But Steph Curry should see a few more minutes. They said they were going to gradually increase his minutes. I think his minutes bumped from 21 to 27 or 28 last game. So I'd be fine if he got 28 minutes again. I'd be fine with that, or 27, whatever it was. But if they give him 30, look, I love it. One of the best plays on the slate, even at 8K. So give me Steph Curry here again. For the rest of the Golden State guys, Marquise Chris, he treated us well a couple nights ago. I want to go back to him. Here's my problem, though. I did not see him getting just 19 minutes. They also ran out a third center. I'm blanking on his I'll find his name real quick, who they ran out, because it was Looney, it was Chris, and then they had someone else. I can't remember who it was, but so he didn't see every single backup minute to Looney, which I was surprised about. So he has to shoot efficiently again, like he did last time. He shot 7 for 11 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3 got 9 rebounds. Could he do it? Yeah, he's 5,500 though. So he's a little more expensive. I don't mind him again. I think you could go back to him, but again, like I said, he has to be very efficient. If Looney gets a few more minutes, that might even affect his minutes. So, yeah. Oh, and Landa says Teosco played some 5. So that might have been who it was who played some 5. But yeah, just overall, I didn't see that happening. And they have Pascal back. So that's just another guy to kind of throw into that bigs mix, So I think it's Steph Curry for me. I think I'll go back maybe a little Kelly Oubre. I think still cheap at 5,800. But outside of that, I'm off anyone else on the Golden State side, just Steph and Kelly. And then from the Sacramento side, I think Rashawn Holmes is still really cheap. If you want to go there, that's fine. Hassan Whiteside would be my pivot in tournaments, though, 5,700. I think more people will play Holmes. And then I'm not playing any De'Aaron or Buddy Hield this time out with so many games. But, I could see it. The Kyle Guy makes some sense. They said they want to keep giving him a little more looks. So 4,700, I don't mind him. But outside of that, I'm off. I know AP has someone in this game he wants to talk about.
Yeah. AP, who's the guy you want to talk about?
Yeah, the late game hammer, right? Or hammer play. Marvin Bagley, 4,100. It's kind of a gut play, a gut feel. So like he wasn't out because of injury or anything like that. It was a conditioning thing. He was late to getting with the team because of COVID stuff, and he looked good. He looked fresh. Luke Walton said he wanted to get him back out there, but the training staff wouldn't let him. I think he's going to get 20 to 22 minutes tonight, and at 4,100, this is a dude that could easily put up 30 plus. And I just think they're going to feed him. And man, if he's feeling good, I see no reason why they wouldn't extend his minutes. So he's a cheap option I'm betting on. And I'm going back to Steph again. He looked good. And here's the thing: these teams that weren't playing in the bubble, we mentioned this last night. I feel like these teams need more run right now because it's been longer since they've played. And I think that's a trend we're seeing. So I think we see Steph get 28 to 32 again. And I'm playing Fox. I think we both played Buddy Hield last time. I'm going Fox this time, and hopefully he gets it done for me. His shooting wasn't great, but man, if he gets motivated and if he gets the minutes, he's a guy that can really get going.
Yep, that makes a ton of sense. Bagley's definitely a good value, and the Kings have provided really nice value, so stay tuned for what kind of news that they can provide. Luke Walton has provided some pretty good injury news and quotes, and that's a shocking thing to hear. So, yeah, Luke Walton has done pretty well for that. Let's go to the last game. It's the Clippers. It's the Jazz. JSU. How do you handle this game here? It's one of those where I think if you backload and you can get Kawhi to play like a billion minutes and no one's really going to play him, like you could win the slate, but there is some risk to it. So how do you handle this Utah and Clippers game?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about Ford being a terrible position. Well, if we get news like at 8:30 or 9 that Kawhi Leonard's going to play 28 to 30 minutes or something crazy like that, well, then forward position became really easy. The problem is most of the game's already locked. So by then, most of your forwards probably locked. So without that news, though, it's tough to really play them unless you're just like Mangone said, unless you're playing other guys that play at like 8:30 or 9 games and we get news before then and we can kind of pivot. But without that news, I don't know how you play him. Like I would love to play Lou Williams. I mean, look at what his price is right now on DraftKings. Lou Williams is what, 4,600 Mangone, something like that?
Yeah, no, he's definitely got a good price tag.
4,600 Mangone. He ran out there in 6 minutes and scored 12 points last game.
What position? what position is he?
He's point guard, shooting guard. I don't care though.
Shooting guard's nice though. Shooting guard's nice though, because the problem is like point guard's so deep. Like I wouldn't want to use a point guard, so I would like to use him at the shooting guard. I think that
I'll play him in my flex if he's playing 20 minutes at 4,600. Like I don't even care. Like okay, so I have this dilemma. I'm at my final spot on one of my two teams, and I got 4,700, and I'm sitting in my util spot. Like I'll put Lou Williams in there. I need a pivot, obviously. So I'm looking at pivots like Kyle Guy and other guys in that range who play a little later. But, man, if we get news that Lou Will's going to play more minutes, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to play Lou Will and forget about that spot. So I hope we get those something on those guys. Even just saying they're all going to play like 25 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Guys, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'd appreciate it a ton. Get us up to 100. That'd be great. AP, I'll go to you. Clippers, Jazz, how do you handle that game?
Yeah, I mean, I full faded it. So, I could sit here and talk about plays. But yeah, here's the thing. I say that now, but my builds are fully stacked for these later games. And it puts me in a position to be able to move. We could get some crazy news that could come out to where maybe these guys get a bunch of run and I could easily make some moves. So that's one reason why I definitely like limiting my exposure to these early games, because really we don't know what they're going to do. I mean, the rotations have been terrible right now. So yeah, right now I'm off, but that could change.
Yeah, I mean that could change, and like that's how I am. I'm right now just not playing anyone in the early game, and kind of figuring out after 8, I guess. So waiting to get some more news, see how it all shakes up. There's a lot of good things I think that are to come, and I think it's a really good overall slate. JSU, what are some final thoughts for the people before we kind of get on out of here?
I mean, final thoughts. Jay Reed jumping in here just to hit the like button. We love to see that. We appreciate that, and we're gonna give out some swag because my guy BP in here saying hit the like button, you freeloaders. That you get some swag, my friend. Just hit the like button. This is a free show. We're doing it for everyone for free. If you like it, hit the like button. We would really appreciate it, and it helps us out a lot. So thank you for doing that. BP, hit up Big T in the Discord. He will hook you up with some swag. If you're not in the Discord, hit him up on Twitter at BigT44 or info@RunPureSports.
Yep. Also, use the code Buckets15. You can get 15% off for life. That gets you a nice little discount. So get in on that promotion. Also want to mention right now, like, hey, if you're watching this and you got some time, go watch our, Showdown show that happened with Big T and Hoop. It was free over on the YouTube today. Those shows are not typically free, but it was free today. So head on over and check that out. Make sure to get in on that action and get in the Discord chat, right? We'll have news, I'm sure, dropping in that chat all night long. People talking swaps, basically how to take down all of the money. AP, give me your final thoughts, and then we will get on out of here.
Yeah, I think I was wrong last night with our boy Baisley, but he didn't see the second half. So that was he was playing phenomenal, but he didn't see the second half. So that was the risk there, but still didn't really impact my build. Tonight it's Marvin Bagley. I think he's putting up a good number for us at 4,100. So that's my little value call of the day.
All righty, that'll do it for us, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. For me, Mangone, AP, and JSU, we are out of here.